All right, hello. What's going on, guys? Unoptimized Fool from the closet, and we are in a little bit of a new setup. We got the new microphone. It's worse than the others, and I wanted to do a kind of preview and a reaction to the Siren Isle preview, right? So this is a new content for 11.0.7. I'm eventually going to have a camera in this setup, but this is the first test of this, and I want to see how it goes. So without further ado, we're going to watch this video and react to it. I'm going to auto-played for 20 seconds, so I'm going to start at the beginning.
I'm Kayla Brown, and I am a game producer on
Hi, Kayla Brown.
I'm here joined with a bunch of our talented developers in order to show you guys a little bit of a sneak peek into what we have lined up for our 11.07 content update. One of the awesome features that we have coming in with 11.07 is actually a brand new zone that we have named Siren Isle.
You know what's cool about this island is actually Mr. Jam told us that this is actually content from Battle for Azeroth. So this was supposed to come out in Battle for Azeroth, and I was talking about how this is actually a really good idea to bring back older content because it's just sitting there collecting dust, not doing anything.
Our design philosophy when creating this zone was to make sure that we made a very engaging outdoor end game experience that would cater to a whole bunch of different play styles and player types.
I guess the only thing that I'm a little bit worried about is that it looks a little bit small compared to, like, it looks like it was supposed to be an island expedition, which, you know, was good for 4 players. But if you're gonna have a lot of players, like, look at Exile's Reach, right? I think that was a 0.7 patch or something like that, right? In Dragonflight. So I wonder how they're gonna do. Like, you know, obviously we're still going through this. Ooh.
Is a mysterious island.
Hi, Mike.
Located in a particularly stormy part of the ocean.
Very stormy.
In the Civil War, it was used by the Kultirans to mine azurite.
Ah.
And then everybody mysteriously disappeared recently.
Yeah, that's where Azereth. So at least they connected to the lore of BFA.
The island has sent out a massive pulse of energy, and everything heard it. And your allies are mounting an expedition to this island to find out what happened and investigate.
Also, the rumors of 11.1 being on, like, this giant crystal island, it still holds up, by the way, because I looked at this island, pictures of it, and so far I haven't seen any crystals on it, right? So that means that the one that the goblins are talking about is not this island. It looks beautiful.
To meet up with the goblin.
Also, Katie here is associate game designer, but in the background on her third monitor on the left, you see the goblin starting zone. So why is that on her screen? I see a lot of people talking about this. Why is that screenshot on her background? There's a coincidence here, right? This is from Cataclysm. Do you think she still has a background from Cataclysm? I don't think so.
Skagit, which is Gazlo's assistant.
Gazlo's
and
assistant.
We find that the Earthen and the Arathi have already made it to the island.
Of course they
so
have.
Naturally, Skagit's ready to go. He's like, get on the Zeppelin, let's go.
Good old goblins. This is a good connection to goblins too, having goblins being so prevalent in 11.0.7. I think that's a good idea.
Sure. So what's fun about the Siren Isle is when players arrive, we see signs that Kultirans have been here before. But there seems to be nobody around, which is really interesting. We see all these buildings.
Ooh, yo, ratty boys.
But by the time the expedition gets there, it's empty. It's one of those fun little mysteries we hope. So on this island...
Hopefully we get to solve that mystery at least. I mean, I love mysteries, but sometimes people just throw mysteries in just to have mysteries, and then they never solve them. You know, there are some, like, giant mysteries that maybe will never be solved, but smaller ones, I want them to be solved. But it looks like they mined out all the Azeroth, though. Wealth.
We actually have 3 separate groups.
Ooh.
So we have the Bloodwake Vrykul.
Oh, of course the Vykul's here. Of course. Why wouldn't they be here?
The Naga. And
of
then
course.
We have a bunch of pirates.
Just a whole bunch of, like, 3 factions trying to take over this small rinky-dink island.
We'll be rotating around on the island, so players won't encounter the same group week to week.
Oh, rotating throughout. That's actually a really great idea. Like, so rotating around. Oh, okay, that's pretty cool. So they kind of take over the island a bit, then get taken over. That's
also,
cool.
Players will encounter a large crystal in the center.
Oh no, this is the crystal. Never mind. Look at that. So there is a giant crystal in the middle of the island. Oh, so I wonder if that's why they disappeared, because, you know, they found this crystal and they weren't supposed to until War Within. The developers killed them off. So this might be the one that, but this isn't really giant though, right?
That seems to sing gently or hum.
That's 100%. You know, basically, oh, there's a dead pirate. I wonder if that journal has anything in there. this must be. I mean, this isn't giant, so maybe this isn't the one that the dwarfs are talking about. But remember, in the last Titan artifacts turn in, we find that there's a bunch of crystals like this. Like this is like the world essence.
Attracted the attention of both the Arathi and the Earthen.
Oh man, mate, this might be actually be the Crystal Island then. I thought that we were getting 11.1 breadcrumbs. Maybe this is a derail here.
So our friends on the island, they're all here for different reasons, which is really exciting. The Earthen and the Arathi are here to study the crystal, and the goblins are interested in what the crystal can do, right?
Of course. I mean, look at what them with Azerite. They decided to just absolutely weaponize it, so they're probably doing the damn same thing. Let's look at the start of BFA when they just were massively destroying the environment just for Azerite, and they'll do it again.
And so they're a really fun cast of people to have because they're so different. But it's also fun to have them all together here because their differences actually might be more complementary than we think.
Ah, they all want to plunder.
Siren Isle, being in a particularly stormy part of the ocean,
Okay.
is regularly lashed by horrible tempests.
What was it, storms?
Powerful creatures of all kinds come up out of the ocean and assault the island. Players can
Ooh.
defend their allies.
Oh, there's actually weather-based
going into the
mechanics.
storm. In order to do this, their allies have provided them with vehicles and weapons
Ooh,
and other tools that they can
vehicles.
use to take on these much more powerful enemies. There's all these crazy powerful enemies that show up, and you get to use these tools. For example,
War
the favorite
crimes.
is the crawler mines. You can grab them, target one of the big nasties, and just have the bomb run up to it and explode. There's 3
Boom.
caves on the island that are sealed up.
3 caves,
Each
okay.
of these caves has a deadly enemy inside.
So kind of like mini world
Players will
bosses?
be able to chip in, and you can donate to their excavations. And each of the factions.
Ooh, okay, so we're
the
going
Earthen,
like,
the Goblin, and
so we're going like severed threads type of like view here. So we have so we have the Earthen, the Goblins, and it looks like the Arathi, and you get to donate some sort of resource to get.
the Arathi have a different cave on the island.
Okay.
Players can donate to get the events to open.
Get your feet moving. We got a tunnel to blast open.
Ooh, I like that voice
Circe's
actor.
circlet is a mysterious ring that once belonged to a mythical legendary sire named Circe. It's a very powerful item that'll give you an edge, especially on the Siren Isle. And as weeks unfold, you'll be able to unlock more gems. More
So this is kind of like a continuation of the power-up stuff we saw in Dragonflight, the first like small patch here. So this is like kind of usually these 0.7 patches have like this weird power thing associated with them, and then at 11.1 they just disappear.
powers associated with Siren Isle and the ring. So this is actually a model of Circe's circlet that you'll be able to see in game.
Yeah, this is actually the first ring you'll see in game. I think this is like the first ring you can see. Like I wish they would do this for all the rings going forward, just like seeing it on your finger.
One of our artists, Brittany Reinhardt, was able to throw it together, and you can see like even
That's super cool. I mean, I think again it's such a small detail, and it doesn't really take that many polygons. I mean, I think it would be a good addition for all the rings to do this. Maybe just purples at first, and then go the blues and greens and grays. But I don't think there's a gray. I don't think there's a gray ring. I could be wrong.
be able to see it on your character, which is I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, it is
Be
pretty.
able to-
That's pretty cool. Hopefully they continue it with other stuff, but probably not.
to interact with a lot of different pieces of content using this ring. It'll be fairly strong, and it'll have 3 different sockets. Each one is a different type, and you'll be able to collect a myriad of different gems that fit into these sockets, all of which do.
And there's only going to be 3 per class that are best in slot, and everyone's going to want that, right? It's always how it goes. The min-maxers will take care of this. But this ring has to be the best in slot, or no one's going to use it, right? So that's the problem with these type of systems. They know that players are not going to use it unless it's like really, really powerful, but then it negates all the other content you've gotten so far in season 1. So it's just a ring. Like, this is the most inconsequential, like, slot inside of your repertoire for armor. So I'm glad they're just doing it for a ring. Like, you would hate to see a trinket here, or like, like Legion, the artifact, or Battle for Azeroth, like, the shoulders and stuff like that. So I think this is the most inconsequential slot they could be basically forcing you to do. So not too bad.
Different things. Even in the current season, they'll be fairly strong, and in the next season, they'll kind of be strong enough to give you a leadway to the new content coming up.
Okay, so it's kind of like a bridge. Like, so it's going to be the best in slot most likely, and then it's going to have you kind of transition. Okay, I mean, obviously, I don't want this stuff to be relevant in 11.1. I mean, I want 11.1 to be relevant in 11.1. Again, that's just with armor and gear in general, honestly.
There's a slew of really cool mounts, a bunch of different transmog appearances, some of which are unused from past years that are really exciting to find.
Yeah, this is from Warlords of Draenor, by the way. That's finally available.
To the players' hands. They've seen it in the files long enough.
That's true. Yeah, that is
First thing
true.
we look for a lot of reference to make sure that we're making something believable, something that seems like it's grounded in nature's rules enough so that when players look at it, there's nothing that's just like totally breaks their immersion.
There you
the
go.
aesthetic is really interesting. It's kind of inspired in some ways by the American Southwest.
I know it looks very, very, very like like what's it called? Not pirates, cowboy stuff.
Looking at some references
Yeah,
to
Arizona.
Arizona and stuff, the elements of those cliffs there. And so those are some of the things that we'll do to bring the world to life.
Ooh, look at that.
We built this thing with a lot of secrets, even more than in some of our previous full zone maps, because it's smaller, it's denser. So I'm excited to see if people can find all the crazy stuff that we did. I put in this little spooky spot back here.
Spooky spot.
Designers wanted like an atmospheric kind of creepy spot, so I put like lots of animal bones have kind of been washing up in here. Another thing that's cool too is all these little like caves and micros that we added in. Each one kind of has its own.
This is the one of the main boss here.
Over here, they'll spawn in this like crazy dragon that's gonna get spawned in from all these bones that have been collected and stuff. So that's kind
And
of
stuff.
like this like little creepy pocket over here. This used to be like an azurite mine over here in the center.
I love
so
this world, like the spotlight.
there's like elements that would happen here, but then you can tell something bad happened.
It just looks like they stripped the land and just left.
There's also this really cool stuff that was put up in the ridges of the mountains, and one of the
I love
things
that
I've done
bridge.
is like making a lot of this space playable. So instead of
I really love that bridge.
just being limited to a flat 2D plane, we can put stuff on top of that 2D plane, and then you get new gameplay experiences, new vantage points, like this big mine track that goes above everything. We definitely do a lot of play testing and soup testing amongst ourselves, and
Soup testing. What the hell is soup testing? I've never heard that phrase.
that really helps too. I'm not just kind of designing stuff in my
Just sitting in the
Like,
corner.
people actually run through
Hey, he's for the Alliance. Look at the Alliance Cub. He's a Chad.
opinions from people who haven't been building it to see like where do they get lost, where are the pain points here, and that's a process we don't just go through for this. We go through it for all the spaces we design in our game. And again, we'll also look back at previous examples of what did players like from previous zones, what did they not like. We try to learn from our past mistakes, and
That's
learn
true.
from
That's
past
always good to
successes and
do.
bring that forward into our new stuff.
I love that
One
Zeppelin.
of my favorite little Easter eggs, because there were plenty on this island.
There has to be like a million like Easter eggs, or everyone's gonna say these developers are just exaggerating. So
Easter eggs and secrets for people to look forward to. One of my favorites personally is the bestiary, actually, all the creatures that are native to the island. One of the things that I took a lot of inspiration from was actually Darwin's finches on the Galapagos. And that
what a
essentially
nerd!
states
What a
that
nerd!
there
Just
are
kidding.
all
Don't.
these finches that are very closely related, but on different islands, their beaks have become different, right? So they have adapted to do different
Oh.
things, eat different things.
Hell yeah, we got some evolution inside of World of Warcraft. There we go. 10 out of
So I
10.
took that concept and I put it on the
Oh, look at the little babies running around.
their
Little
isle.
babies.
It's like, we have this isle. Where are all the creatures that have come here? How is
I was gonna
the
say, I
island
wonder if we can
protected?
tame those
It's not-
those guys.
All of the creatures are intentional.
Okay, that's
and
good.
It's a fun Easter egg that I don't think people would look for, but I hope that they'll enjoy uncovering the secret of the history of the isle through the creatures as well.
Yeah, Blizzard does a lot of good work inside of environments like this, and I think it's super important. Even though it's a small detail that most players won't see, I think it's important for the world design. So 10 out of 10. WoW has it going on. Oh, there's the Rathai section, just a tent in a larger tent. Look at that.
Thank you all so much for joining us here today.
No
Our team
worries.
had a blast in creating and bringing to life Siren
God.
Isle, and we really hope that
I'm
you
gonna
had
sniff ya.
just as much fun exploring it as the team did in creating it. Wanted to thank you all again, and we really hope to see you all in the Siren Isle.
Yeah, that's obviously coming live on January 7th of 2025. That is confirmed because, we know that 11.0.5 is ending on January 6th. But guys, that is going to be it for me. I mean, my main concerns are obviously we have, this ring has to be best in slot or no one's going to use it. So obviously it has to be good. And then the island being smaller, I think it's even smaller. It looks smaller than what was the Mechanome Island, Mechanome area, whatever that is off the side of BFA. Um, it looks smaller than that even, which I'm just worried about the amount of players involved. I mean, again, it's not the biggest concern, but I'm just afraid about its size. But other than that, it looks fantastic. The systems look good. I'm glad that they're doing this. I'm actually surprised they're doing this again, especially since it wasn't really alluded to until now. So again, we have that crystal in the middle of the island, but the talks inside of Dornalgal, right? The kind of whispers of the giant crystal. That they say it's like a giant crystal, and this is just one small crystal. So maybe they just wanted to tie it into like our current stuff. But I'm excited to see it. Hopefully, that ring is pretty good. Best in the slot. But I'm all for it. So again, also, hopefully the gems are nice too. Hopefully there's some variation. But guys, this is my first ever reaction inside the closet. I don't have a camera right now. I need to figure out, because one of my USB ports on this computer is broken. I don't have any extra. So right now it's no camera. But eventually, hopefully my next reaction video is going to be with a camera, and also going to be starting a Let's Play. So, and that's definitely going to have a camera right out of the gate. But I wanted to get this video out as soon as possible. But guys, thank you so much for being here, and I will see you guys here soon.